says I'm live. And it is now 5:19 p.m. on October 29th. And we happen to be, we're here outside the Casey, Oregon. We happen to be following a staff member in. Here's a view of the parking lot. Got quite a few cars in it. Are they Scientology or just? Looks like she's going to push the button for me. I don't think she is, but I could be wrong. Sea Org typically comes in bright and early before 9 o'clock in the morning. And I've never seen her, I don't remember her ever arriving bright and early in the morning. It's not on a weekday. So I think she's in the foundation staff. And we're about to get a light across the street. And the wind is picking up. Temperature is about 80 degrees. Feels nice and cool with the wind. So we don't have the shades pulled, but she'll probably alert them and that will be rectified shortly. So in the meantime, before they pull the shades, we have a view of the displays here. Scientology TV. Yep, they've covered up. I was going to give a... There's LRH's office. And you can see the side of the tribute wall, LRH tribute wall, that they haven't covered up yet. So we have this side covered up. They pulled the shade tech in the door. Well, I think the fact that I followed a staff member in helped. And she recognized me. Okay, so we have hiding tech on this side. Part of the hiding tech in the door. Well, I can't see through, so they may have added the curtain on the roll around clothesline. They haven't activated this hiding tech yet. So we can see LRH's office. Later on, we get a better view of LRH's office, which has a globe of TGAC. That's interesting. In the past, They've put paper tech in this area. And when they did have roll around tech, it was a chalkboard. So for sure we're on day org stats for this Thursday. We stayed a few minutes after 2, but last Thursday, but we don't know if they registered it. So now we've got them for sure. Because it is well before 6 o'clock. Let's see what the time is now. It is 5:25 in the afternoon. So we have another 35 minutes of day org time. Okay, I don't think they've put the extra hiding tech, the roll around curtain behind the front door. Basically all it did was cover up the view of the reception desk. So across 18th Street. We get a light. Get a better view of the parking lot. Okay, crossing 18th Street. And we have a pretty full parking lot, actually. I wonder what that black transit van is. They had a transit van on July 6th, the weekend of 4th of July, when they set up the tent down the parking lot the next south of here for the human rights front groups. So following me across the street is, I think he's a Sea Org member. And yeah, there it is, the black Ford Focus. So we're walking over here. Not going to go in the parking lot, but I am going to go at the public alley. Okay, that is a passenger van, not a cargo van. And it has Missouri tags on it. So There's a Sea Org member heading west on 18th, starting south on Walnut. So that white car has its door cracked open. So we'll back across 18th. Now, let's see what the view is like here from across the street. You get really close to the front of the org, you can't really see what's going on. You get a better picture, but perhaps not as detailed. Up there on the second floor, we have some windows open and lights on. That first set of smaller windows is the second floor. And on the fourth floor, we have some lights on. Over on this side, we have some lights on in the third floor. I think that's where they store their files. Fourth floor, some lights on. Up in the sixth floor, lights on as well. Maybe that's Osomat. He usually leaves about 6:30 to 7 o'clock. And there's Mr. Folger's attaché leaving. So I think we have foundation support staff with his daughter. Perhaps she's one of the ones that go to that school that Dan O'Connor runs. Not in his basement. No longer in his basement. So it may get a little bit windy here, but opportunity to find out what cars they drive. Mr. Folger's attaché drives a dark blue car. staff member taking his daughter home. That guy is a Foundation staff member. He arrives on different vehicles depending on the weather, either a motorcycle or an electric bike or even a car. And he's going to wheel it into the org. Does that when an SP is not outside. Not that we've ever bothered any of their vehicles. He is going to wheel it inside the org. And let's see. I think we got a little bit of a slow. Thanks, Fluffer. Stanley Rader. Ah, okay. Yes, I'm someone who knows who Stanley Rader is. I don't quite get the connection of lower conditions Larry. No, and the wind has shifted direction, and it's getting a little bit louder. Dying down. Let's see. Okay, time now is 5:37. 23 minutes until the Foundation org takes over. Okay, I had a few just join us. It's 5:39 here outside the Kansas City Class 5 Idle Board. In a while, the Foundation org will be taking over the building. Needs a good power washing. Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit of mold up high. Might have to look at Street View to see if it was there several years ago. Look at past Street View images to see if we had mold on the upper floors like that. But yeah, they could use some power wash, particularly there on that side over there. Well, is that mold or is it iron that's washing down from the windows? Well, we don't have any iron in the center to wash down, so hard to say. Whatever it is, it should be washed off. And that Sea Org member that left in the black Ford Focus is back from whatever errand he was running. So I wonder what errand he had to run at 5:30 on a Tuesday. Yep. Yeah, he didn't go out to pick up dinner for people. Yeah, this car belongs to us. I've seen it parked at the Scientology parking lot. Is this the one that Mr. Free Date drives? Maybe he decides that if this window gets smashed, it's not as much of a loss as if one of the windows on his Mercedes gets smashed. Well, yeah, it does belong to Mr. Free Date. He's shifted his license plate over. So maybe he sold his Mercedes to pay for extra sec checking or something. Who knows? Is he an OT8? Well, I would not be surprised. We've asked him what Free Date stood for. He said he'd tell us later. When I asked him a second time, he accused me of harassing him. Allie's asked him three times, and he keeps saying, not this time, maybe next time. I don't think it ever will be next time. So Reese has said that this org has quite a few OT8s. Do you think they would just get all the OT8s together and handle the protesters. I suggested that they could make it rain, because that would do two things. It would make us leave, and if Allie has been here chalking the sidewalk, it would wash it off. But apparently it seems that OT powers don't extend to doing that. Maybe they can change the paths of hurricanes, but they can't make it rain. So now it's gotten a little bit darker. I can see, yeah, maybe you can see there. You can see back into the mezzanine. I guess later on when the sun sets, which it should be setting in about a half hour or so, we'll have a clearer view of the mezzanine, at least part of the mezzanine. And let's see, 5:46 is the time. I like to keep track of the time because sometimes I can see patterns of activity, and when I see patterns I try to decipher them. Let's see, we had a white pickup pull out of the parking lot. We must have had somebody sneak out the side and go into the parking lot. The Scientology was parked there on that side of the building. I don't think they charge for parking there. I don't see the little payment kiosk like we have here on this street. Okay. Let's try a little experiment. Let me pull out my chair and sit right here at this intersection and see if the Scientology evade me by crossing the street in an alternate direction. So I'm setting up my portable chair. Saw someone just left a chat. Let me catch up with it after I get the view squared away. Alright, so I have a view of the side entrance and the front entrance, as you can see. And let's see what the last chat message was. Yep, thank you Thank you, Gabriel. Appreciate you hitting the like button for me. And you can probably hear the tick, tick, tick of the parking meter. Wish we could shut that off, but not the parking meter, but the street crossing. And we just had someone, looks like they snuck in the side. That, I think, is a musician performing at the Green Lady Lounge, which is behind Scientology. Let's see, 5:52. Started the stream at about 5:19. So the weather here, it's actually quite comfortable. It's 80 degrees, but the humidity is low. And we had the wind picking up, which is unfortunate for the microphone. It does make it nice and cool. And I thought I would come do an evening audit. The temperature is expected to hold up in the 70s until about midnight or so. I thought this would be a good chance to do an evening audit while the weather was nice. Did have a high this afternoon in the lower 80s, I think. Yep, the KC in my channel name stands for Kansas City. Here outside the Kansas City Class 5 idle morgue. And actually, this may be one of the more active orgs. Compared to the one that Cubs champion is outside of in Boston. I don't think I've seen an audit from him for a week or so, he may be working extra, or maybe he has a baseball game to attend. Let's see. I think this is closing in on the end of baseball season. I'm not a baseball fan, so. Still here. Well, he is a member of the org. We've seen him arrive between 2 and 2:30 in the afternoon. I don't know what car he drives. Yep, windy there. And it's actual wind, not just the politicians. Chicago is known as the Windy City of Vets for the wind generated by politicians. Choices for deception. Yep. I think they had that in mind when they chose that symbol. Let's see. Center that so you can see all the symbology. You can see the poop emoji. Funny cross and the interlaced triangles. One of them I think is ARC, KRC, I think is what the acronyms for them are. Well, I understand if you go in, they'll tell you can be any religion and a Scientologist. Until later, you find out that you can't. Since they believe in reincarnation, I don't see how you can also be a Christian. There's no Christian religion that I'm aware of believes in reincarnation. Down. Picks up again. I'm going to head a little bit further. The building there shields me from the wind. So it'll either do that or it'll funnel the wind down the street. Okay. Now that seems to have helped with the wind. Or maybe the wind just chose to die down while I was moving over here. So we'll see. Let me pump the stand up a little bit higher. So you can see over the hood of this car. Be careful, they might make me disappear too. Well, I keep waiting for all the OT8s in this org to take care of me. Okay, it's now 6 o'clock. And the Foundation org is taking over. 6:01 actually. I don't know, there may not be any escaping. Full-time staff here at this org is Sea Org. We don't see that much of an exodus at 6 o'clock. And that white Mercedes there, he's a Foundation staff member. And he's running a little bit late. I'm talking about the white 87 Mercedes-Benz that's parking down the street. Let's see. There he is going in the org. And quite often we see him leaving at about 9 o'clock, taking some Sea Org members back to wherever they're berthed. So maybe they actually, every once in a while they get an hour off. I haven't observed him enough times to determine whether or not there's any kind of a pattern to it. Okay, that's a day org staff member, a public staff. That one I'm bringing the little girl, I think she must be a day org staff. Maybe she's part-time staff. there's another day yard staff leaving. He drives a yellow coupe. Now, why did he go down the side? Did he park his car somewhere else? Or is he thinking that he's going to evade me by... Okay, there's another staff member who left. I think sometimes start with a subwoofer. I'm gonna mute. I don't know, that's the old black. I kind of wondered if that meant something. And I asked the question of somebody, I think it was Aaron, and he said, no, the black doesn't mean anything. It may just be a fashion statement. Of course, the black does make changing into staff uniform a little easier if you wear black pants. And I think we may have had someone go up. I don't know who that is. Possibly a member of the public. Ooh.
Yeah.
So we have another staff member leaving. That woman there waiting across the street, now crossing the street. She's a public staff member. That couple passed by the org. This car in front of us that's getting ready to pull out. And I think the driver is maybe one of the kids that has attended, at least last year. We haven't seen him. He gets off the bus this year. But last spring, I think. I almost saw an accident there. He started to pull out of the parking spot when someone was beside him. So for the moment, we've got an unobstructed view of the front of the org.
70. I don't recognize him, but he's wearing a blue shirt, probably says Curious on it. No. I think he must be regular public. Re-aim the camera so you can see. Oh, there's Osa Matt. And let's take note of the time. It is 6:11 p.m. Usually he stays a little longer. Maybe he came in early today. See Osa Matt. Can't see the screen the way it's pointed. Member heading back across the state from another arrow. So a while ago we were in the parking lot and we saw a black passenger transit van with temporary Missouri tags on it. So it kind of makes me wonder what that is. Maybe they bought that to shuttle Sea Org members back and forth, and they're going to make the Sea Org members give up their cars. Although we've seen them use their cars to run errands. Seen one of the Sea Org members. Yep. Not enough time to re-aim the camera. Just saw a Cybertruck pass by. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Seeing one of the Sea Org members leave shortly after 2 o'clock on Thursday with a box usually used to hold mail. So let's see what. Okay, most of you chat messages. Yep. So I thought a little bit of philosophy about who was less bad or better, if you want to term it, whether it's LRH or Davey Miscavige. And I think David Miscavige is better because Scientology grew when LRH was at the helm, and since Davey has taken over, he's squirreled all the tech, and the membership of Scientology has declined. So for that reason, I think LRH was worse than David Miscavige is. Now, he may be more abusive towards individuals, but those are his own members that he's abusive towards, mainly. So here it is, 56 minutes later, and they still haven't activated the hiding tech in front of the LRH tribute wall. Maybe they figure it's okay that SP would see the LRH tribute wall. So there we can see, doesn't look like I don't see any activity going on up on the mezzanine. Yep, Olivier says, I am not allowed to film there. Well, I may not be allowed, but I'm doing it anyway. So we have some people, I think they're non-Scientologists. See if my Scientologist detector is any good. Yep. Now that guy in the blue shirt, I just saw him walking away earlier and he's coming back. So he must have just gone to his car to get a cup of coffee out of his thermos. Welcome, Sharon, and anyone else who's come over from Blood Brain Fog. Hi, Fuzzy. Welcome to my stream from Brain Fog stream. And Papa Cat, thank you for coming by. And that's a staff member. Looks like he's headed for home. So it's not quite yet sundown. Well, maybe it will be sundown here in a few minutes. Sky is still blue, so. And you can see up there, if you could read it, they've misspelled cult. Car waiting for the light is in the way of the door. Okay, moving on. Mayo. Who's David Mayo? That's a name I have not heard. And it looks like Papa Cat is also misspelled cult, but not as badly as Scientology has. And here is that Sea Org member returning with another Sea Org member. I don't think I saw him leave. So I wonder what he's been doing all day. Or at least for the past hour or so. And they're over there sneaking in the Grand Street entrance. But we already saw them. So David Mayo is an independent Scientologist. But as far as I'm concerned, independent Scientology, you know, I've been called a religious bigot. But personally, I don't care if they want to believe a silly science fiction story. That's up to them. That's their business. But it's the abuse that I have a problem with. And since abuse of children is kind of baked into LRH teachings, as far as I'm concerned, independent Scientology, I regard them as just as abusive towards kids unless they prove that they're not. Again, it's baked into LRH teachings. He wrote a book on how to sex check a 6-year-old. Having kids in Purif is abusive. the doses of niacin they give adults is too much for an adult, and they don't adjust it downwards for a child. And the TRs are also abusive. And the TRs include the bull baiting. And they practice not responding to bull baiting. So they're taught from an early age on how to abuse and be abused, accept and deliver abuse. So she, I think, is a staff, foundation staff member. It's interesting that I see foundation staff members, some of them arriving well after 6 o'clock. So I saw a couple of staff members go into the side there. Their camera wasn't aimed properly. Is that how they get out to Grand Street? Let's see, in the end, even David Mayo. Yeah, I've never heard of David Mayo, but there are a number of independent Scientologists. I understand there's something called the Advance Org of the Great Plains that's maybe here in Kansas City, but as far as I can tell, they only have a web presence. They have a website, and that may be about it. At least they don't. The website does not mention a physical location. You don't trust any religion with confidence levels. Yep. Yep, Scientology has the secret sauce. And by the time you learn that it's a silly science fiction story, it's too late. Your whole life is entangled in Scientology. So you have to pretend to believe it. Or give up all the entanglements. So we'll wait for it to get a little darker. And then we'll go peek into LRH's office, see if the globe of TGAC is still there. Yep. A little bit cynical. I define religion as the organized belief in stuff that hasn't been proved. It may not be provable. Yeah. So we're gonna have somebody block our view. So did those two come out of the board? Let's see if I set the camera over here. You can at least see if someone comes out of the board or goes into it. Why are there road closed sign stoppers there? I don't know why that road closed sign. They must have been doing something here, but I'm not sure that I see anything that's changed. They did have some temporary signs that didn't allow people to park on this side of the street, but they've been folded down. Just waiting for people to pick them up, but I can't see that they've really done anything. I don't know, I guess I'll have to reach forward. Maybe they've painted the parking lane on this side of the street. I'll have to take a look at past screens to see if they have done that yet. They did resurface the street here a few weeks ago. Bit hilarious. One day they had grinded off the top layer and they had road closed signs so that you could pass through the intersection here on 18th Street through Grand Avenue. They didn't have any road closed signs at the other end of the block. So all day long it was a constant parade of people driving halfway up the block, then realizing they couldn't get through and turning around. And what was worse, they even trapped a few buses in this. A little hard to turn a bus around in this narrow of a street, but they managed. Okay, so let's check the time, 6:35 in the evening. Yeah, that's about what time sundown is. Wait for it to get just a little bit darker. And somebody just came out of the org, walking down the sidewalk. I think she is a staff member. in after 9 o'clock. Thank you, Love Maddie. Oh, okay, and there is a stretch transit van that I newly saw in the parking lot. It's got temporary Missouri tags. Where it's parked, I don't think you're supposed to park. There we have a foundation staff member. There we go. He helps out Desiree, who's the head body router. Well, he's continuing on. Well, actually it does have windows there, but they are heavily tinted. So that's a brand new van, and they Class B license. What is a Class B license? Is that a commercial license? Aren't changing the traffic signals, must not be OT8s. Yep. Well, I'm still here, so they must not be OT8s. And somebody just came out of the Oregon and headed that way. He may be a staff member. No, maybe I'm not too sure. I think, no, he may be a public Scientologist, heavy into his coursework. stop and do something with the transit van. Well, he's continuing on inside. His body language suggested that he was going to do something involving the transit van. Okay. Okay, I am folding up my chair. I'm trying to fold up my chair. So we just had a staff member go inside the org. Okay, we are going to make our way across the street, get a closer look at the globe of TGAC and the transit van. So yes, here is the transit van. Oh, it's actually looks like it has a sink in the back. So here we are outside of LRH's office, and maybe you can make it out through the drapes. There's the globe of TGAC. There's his desk and some books behind it. This is not actually a transit van, it's a Mercedes. So we're in closer, so let me zoom out. Nope, no problem.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you recording?
I am.
Is there a reason?
Yes.
I'm just curious.
Uh,
I'm just waiting on some people.
oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. Is there a problem?
Just Scientology in general. Are you a Scientologist?
No.
No. Okay.
Are you?
No, I am not.
Okay.
I never have been.
Okay.
But Scientology, well, I don't know. I guess I won't ask you to. It's a lot of people regard it as a creepy cult, but it also is an abusive cult.
Okay.
So kind of keeping track of what's going on. But you're employed by them, obviously. I don't expect you to give an opinion. Well, at least for a job, picking up some people.
You can imply what you like and stuff.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not trying to disparage you. If you've been contracted to do some work for them, take them to the place, then that's. I'm not trying to disparage. Usually I see a few Scientologists parked in this lot, but not tonight. Here's a view of the cafe. Looks like we have some people in the cafe. And the refrigerator that they brought in a few weeks ago is tucked between these two windows up against the wall, so you can't see it. And this guy here is Deshaun, who is, I thought he was on Foundation staff, but he seems to be walking off. So they're, after dark, their curtains don't do that much. And you would think they would have employed their curtain tech, because the hiding tech they have at the door doesn't work too well after dark. Or you can get a view, an end view through the door of what's inside LRH's office. The bookshelves. I don't know, do those look like real books or fake books? Or maybe they're just courses that, maybe they're DVD binders. Here's the view from this angle. And here's the hiding tech that is usually placed between the front door and the reception desk. And here you can see that refrigerator is right there. So there are fewer cars in the parking lot. $6.50. So we're crossing back over 18th Street. We're going to walk a little ways up Grand. That guy cutting through. Okay, he's just cutting through the parking lot. Okay, 6:53. Okay, another day org staff member leaving. Did we see her come in before? See, I don't recognize those two women who just came out of the org. Maybe if the light were a little better, I would. All right, so that luxury van is pulling out. Did he pick up passengers already? See where he goes. He's making a left-hand turn at Oak to head north on Oak. going to camp out here for a minute. See if he does his sneaky thing. Circling to the other door. So, okay, that's a member of the general public. All right, let's see what time it is. 6:56. 6:50. No, 6:58. Eyes are a little bit too old to read the fine print on a mobile phone. All right, so take note of is that the van that the school kids arrive in is gone, so whoever drives it snuck out and drove it off while I wasn't paying attention. Masterson got out in protective custody. We walk back across 18th Street here. Got put into protective custody. Okay, he's still in prison then. Okay, he's going that way now that the SB is across the street. Okay, and these vehicles were non-Scientologists. So, the parking lot looks emptier than
I'd get them, they're criminals. Get them on camera.
Never been proven.
and he's off on another errand. Okay, it is now 7 o'clock. I think Foundation Org is fully started, and any classes they run have probably started. So I don't think there'll be too much activity up here until 9 o'clock. So I think I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you all for coming in with me, and we'll be talking with you later. Jesse J. Yeah, they don't decorate for Halloween. I don't know. They are going to have a Winter Wonderland here a few days before Christmas. They're fighting before Christmas leading up to it. So goodbye all.